Mike's Daily Podcast.
Episode 1194. Hello, it's Mike Matthews broadcasting from Cafe Anyway, located somewhere in Podcastro Valley, Mont. 1994 was a year where I started full-time at KHA, the Santa Fe Cafe. Oh, what I said yesterday was wrong. It was actually 94 that I started the 11-year run of me hosting the KHA Santa Fe Cafe, which would later turn into
Mike's Daily Podcast.
That's right, this show, Mike's Daily Podcast at Cafe Anyway.
Anyway.
Cafe Anyway with the cafe characters.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
And today, hey, here at Cafe Anyway, I'm going to go a little bit reggae. I want to tell you that's as far as reggae I get. And today we're going to have a little bit of JARELNIME. And the Daily Haley is happening on the show.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
Plus, we'll hear from Benita, the Disgruntled Fiddle Player, and the Brewmaster. So much to get to. Yesterday,
Mike's
I had a
Daily
Epitome
Podcast.
What do you call it?
Yeah!
Not epitome, and not an aneurysm, thankfully. I had a, that sudden revelation that you have. Then you just said the word. I could hear you say it, and I can't think of it. Anyway, I had an epistemology. Gosh, I'm crossing. You ever get that with the words get crossed, like wires get crossed? Word wired crossed? That's what I've got right now. I suddenly realized that coffee houses have had a big influence on my life. All kinds of coffee houses, going back to the first one I went to, which I believe was there was one in Santa Barbara I went to, and I'll have to think about that a little bit more. The first one, though, that was coming to mind immediately was in the Channel Islands Harbor in Oxnard. There used to be a coffee place that my mom actually turned me on to, and there was a girl that worked there, a barista, that was so cute, and I think I left her a love note one time. Because I'm just so sweet.
Anyway.
Oh, sorry. She didn't care. It was unrequited. But that was the beginning of so many coffee love affair experiences. Look who just walked in. Hi, Mom. It's Benita, the rodeo queen. How you doing? I want to ask about my horse, Nelly. Hey, Nelly.
It's a disgruntled fiddle player. Tell you what.
What?
Bro, I'm gonna do my, other voice that I do.
Say what? Wow, that's a great... How did you do that?
I don't know, I do this other one.
I like the way you say that.
Wow, you're a master of so many voices, Disgruntled Fiddle Player.
Thank you, I'm kind of like y'all.
No, I can't do any voices. Hey, you know what happened was there was a girl I met who was a barista, a red-haired barista, and I think it was 94, actually, now that I'm thinking about it, speaking of which, and she and I ended up with a relationship that lasted quite a while. In fact, we moved in to a duplex together in a little apartment, and look who else just walked in.
Hello, Mike. I make the root beer. I'm the brewmaster. Oh, boy. Have some delicious coffee root beer.
That sounds disgusting.
When the coffee's first rate, so is everything else.
I'd rather just have some coffee.
Would you like some coffee?
Yeah, I just said that.
Would you like some coffee?
I just said that.
Would you like some coffee?
Anyway, Cafe Anyway, I was... where is it?
Anyway.
Thank you. I decided... and decisions are scary, that Mike'sDailyPodcast.com is a great place to catch all the past podcast pictures, to the past shows where I whine about things, about, like, for example, Brian Johnson no longer being the lead singer of Back in Black, I Hit the Sun, AC/DC. He's giving it a rest after a long time. And I remember hearing recently on a show called Music's Industry Radio that comes out of a radio station in Nashville called Lightning 100, and I was listening to them online, and this guy was talking to this other guy in the music industry saying, "Can you believe Brian Johnson is quitting AC/DC? What a quitter." It's like, dude, do you know how long he sang with AC/DC? And he sings in that voice, like a parrot, kind of scary rock and roll voice. How did he keep doing it that long? Is it amazing? He should be getting an award for that. So, and Gail Carriger is still the hottest steampunk author I have ever. She's so hot. And I saw her in that steampunk documentary I was talking about recently. You know, she does remind me of a couple of girlfriends that I had, including the barista, the red-haired one I was mentioning, aforementioned. I met my ex-wife at a coffee house. She was not a barista, but she was there the night I was doing an open mic. And there was, what else? Oh, I've been friends with many a coffee house owner. In fact, recently, the owner of a coffee house in Podcastro Valley almost moved into my house. I had a room for rent. But instead, I got this other roommate who seemed a little less, seemed a little bit more my style. Let's just say that you gotta, and he's lived in my house now for over a year. Not the coffee house owner, but this other guy. I don't want to name him right now, but I will say he's awesome. We'll just call him Awesome. Awesome roommate. And then I got to be friends with another coffee house owner in Ventura. It was a coffee house called Cafe Voltaire. That was a great place. A lot of big memories there. Oh, look who else.
And here's today's podcast picture.
The podcast picture doesn't have to do with coffee houses, but with my dog, Basil the Boxer. Oh, yeah, there he is. All right. And he looks kind of scary in this picture, kind of like a ghost dog. So Basil will never leave me. Even when he's gone, he'll still haunt me as a ghost dog. And there's a picture of him as what I would imagine a ghost dog looks like. And he looks so scary. I took that picture this morning as I fed him before I had to hurry off to work at 5 in the morning. The coffee house world. Such a part of my life. Well, Cafe Anyway is where we have a little bit of coffee, a little bit of root beer coffee, as you saw earlier, which sounds absolutely wonderful. And we have Mike'sDailyPodcast.com, where you can go to help out the show, support the show through the Amazon link. Click on that and buy whatever it is you're going to buy, and that helps support us. And there's also the PayPal if you'd like to help us out that way. You'll get a special greeting from all the Cafe Anyway characters. And there's the past interviews I've done with interesting people. Got some interesting people coming up here on today's show. And all the past podcast pictures, all there at Mike'sDailyPodcast.com. Go there now. Hey, and if you've been to coffee places, if I could name all the coffee places that I used to go, Daily Grind in Ventura, that was a great place. Got to know the owner there. He sold the property. They turned it into a Starbucks. And the thing is, I can't really remember any Starbucks baristas. There was this one that, it was way in the back of my mind. I got to be friends with a Starbucks barista. Actually, there's a Pete's barista. That's the same thing. I haven't really become friends with Pete's baristas, but there's one in Podcastro Valley named Kat, and she's awesome. I've enjoyed seeing and talking to Kat many times, but it's been mostly the mom and pop coffee places that I've gotten to know the owners and the people there. It's not a easy industry. Oh, the one really close to me, Cafe Rumi, the owner of that place. He's a really cool guy. He's talked to me a couple times, and he sees me sitting out front with my dog, Basil the Boxer, who I may have mentioned earlier in the show. So that's... maybe is it just that coffee house people can be really friendly when they're not stuck up barista people? Who knows?
The Daily Haley. The almost Daily Haley.
Really? Okay, go ahead.
The Daily Haley. The almost live Daily Haley.
Wow, that was really good. Very impressive. You know, you, Jarrell, have a segment called JARELNIME that sounds something like this.
JARELNIME.
Wonderful. Oh. Wow, that is a beautiful laugh. Where did you come up with that laugh?
Actually, my head hurts now.
Do you think we learn our laughs, or how do we laugh? Where does it come from? Do you know, Jarrell?
Ask Mr. Psychology over here.
How about you, Haley?
Laughing isn't psychological. Laughing is biological.
Oh, that's true. Hey, guys.
We're just giving him a workout and having to toss the mic everywhere.
They're standing so far away, and I'm running back and forth to try and get their comments and thoughts.
It's good exercise.
Oh, gosh. Do you feel as tired as I do? This is a topic we've never discussed, Haley.
No, we've never discussed being tired. I live in a constant state of tired. It's part of my personality.
How about you, Jarrell? How do you get yourself all perky and ready to go?
Capping a whole bunch of jokes so I don't knock somebody out.
So you knock out people?
No, I knock out people on a virtual video game.
Oh, you guys both play video games. What's your favorite, Jarrell?
Dino Crisis.
And you, Haley?
Yoshi's Island.
Wow, this is awesome. Okay, I'm really old. I remember this one with the thing that ate dots. So which is...
Oh, yeah, it was Waka Waka Person.
Are you sure that it wasn't Pac-Man?
It was definitely Waka Waka Person. It could have been Pac-Woman. Mrs. Pac-Man.
Hey, I ain't hating.
Do either of you play that game? Or explain your video games. And remember, mine is just all I know is the Pac-Man.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
So what's your game do, Jarrell, to me?
Mine is related to horror and disaster in a way to which Dino Crisis involves a survival video game. So if you're ever familiar with the Resident Evil video games, replace the zombies with dinosaurs. And now you're trying to get off this island to which this weird device that's supposed to generate clean energy is actually a time machine somehow as a side effect.
Oh, so it's bringing all the dinosaurs into the world.
Yeah, and then the madman thinks that would be great for the military to use as a weapon.
Is Jeff Goldblum in this going, oh dear, or yeah, you know, his thing.
Oh, my leg is broken. Give me more morphine.
Yeah, JARELNIME.
If he was, he would definitely saying, the scientist was so preoccupied with whether or not he could that he didn't stop to think if he should.
Ah!
Exactly. That would be Jeff Goldblum's role. Be like, you don't take any responsibility. You just took what other geniuses did, you packaged it, and now you're selling it. Now you're going to sell it. Well.
Your hand hurt now?
No.
As he holds it in a tourniquet. Wow, I haven't seen that. Did you see all the Jurassic Park animes?
Yeah, and they're not enemies.
Oh.
But yeah, so you're trying to basically get off this island and you get to shoot dinosaurs while you're at it.
Fun. What does yours do, Mr. Haley, Daily Haley?
The full video game name is Super Mario World 2 Yoshi's Island, so it is a variation of the Mario games, and you jump around, and you're a dinosaur, and you have to bring the small baby Mario and rescue other small babies.
Oh, that sounds nice. You were watching, what was that thing you were watching the other day where it had like clips of the old Mario game and people were murdering each other and stuff?
That was a reconstruction where basically Mario just said to hell with everything and just attacked everybody.
God, I hate those.
You don't like those?
They're so dumb. They've been making them since like 2005 and it's
Do you find that's it's blasphemy, like an insult to your favorite game?
No, I just think that they're not original and it's not comedy.
Oh, okay.
You can count it as an abridged series and basically folks who have way too much time on their hands.
Do you know... What do they call in England? They've got this thing. They're really strange. We were doing our British accents earlier. Wasn't that fun? Then we were talking about getting some tea.
Oh yes, quite. I do believe that we had such the most amazing time talking in our British accents.
But Mr. Haley over here, he drank all of it and he didn't even replace it. What the frick, man?
Wow, you censored yourself. Good job. What do you think In England, they do this puppet show where they have two characters. Somebody does like a puppet thing with their two hands, and they beat, they're both puppets, and one puppet will beat the other puppet, and they call it like a Punch and Judy show. And kids love it. It's really violent, and this is the British people. Have you heard of this?
No, but apparently we can see the early stages of raising kids to be delinquents.
How about you, Haley?
Slapstick's really popular in the younger crowd, I guess.
Yeah.
And in England.
Makes you want to go to England.
Remember when you had that feature? Did you have that feature about someone who actually laughed to death? Did you hear about this? Someone actually...
No, I didn't. This wasn't mine.
Someone in England actually laughed themselves to death. And it was on this, watching this weird British show that was also slapstick comedy, and it was just very strange.
Huh. You've been listening to my podcast a lot lately, and you've heard me. I've been a little bit vocal about Trump and stuff. Trump and stuff. Is that like Puff and stuff? That'd be a fun show. I would like to thank you for listening to my podcast.
You're welcome.
That really wasn't in the form of a question at all. So,
excuse me. My name is Alec Trebek, and we're going to need you to have to form your answers in the form of a question, please.
What am I doing here?
You're working.
Oh, okay. Oh, we're working. Ooh, all right. So, any final thoughts, JARELNIME and Haley, Daily Haley? This is amazing, the amount of celebrities we have in this one area of the world.
Since you briefly brought up some political candidates, my advice is this. Don't jump on the bandwagon. Do some serious critical thinking, because you might not like what critical thinking someone else does for you.
Wow, are you doing any critical thinking, Haley?
I'm taking both of the candidates, and I'm looking at them, and then I'm pushing them right in the path of the bandwagon. So hopefully the bandwagon will just plow them over, and we won't have to worry about it anymore.
I think we won't have to worry about it as much.